is going to be something that they would need, because in the early game they need somebody to really help them out, because at least, as I said, Ezreal is also a mid-game
there
champion.
you go.
Oh,
that's a lot. That makes a lot more sense. Now, the EDG can still elect to go for Shen.
I think EDG could really go for the Shen, because the ball delivery would be
there you go.
That's something I love to see. That's something I love to see, man. Seeing the Xin Zhao get played, oh man, it's been a while.
I was looking for it, right? Like I was saying that, hey, you know what? If Yasuo is meta, if Jax is meta, if Gwen is meta, where is Mr. Xin Zhao? Right? And so Coach Labai from EDG just has synced with us here in the caster desk and has selected Xin Zhao for a player that has a very good Xin Zhao as well in 0711.
Yeah, and honestly, Xin Zhao is one of the champions that you always want to see during the early game stages of the game, because this is one of the things that Xin Zhao loves, especially in the first objective. The level 5 power of a Xin Zhao with a Crescent guard just helps you really secure the objectives way easier than you expect.
Yeah, the pushback. And also being able to deny some of the long-range damage from the Jace. From not really the Vladimir, because I believe that in order for you to
get in your face,
except for the fact that Hemoplague won't be able to damage you if you are far from the Vladimir by the time that the second damage procs in, right? Like, lots to unpack, but I really love that the Xin Zhao is back in the meta. It's also a very good dueling jungler, which means that, hey, you know what? I'm going in your face regardless. And oftentimes when it comes to the jungle Jace, one of the biggest concerns that we do have with Jace jungle is that it's super vulnerable in almost, in every aspect of the game.
There might be able to pop the flash here coming from the 128, but no, Xiao Zhang doesn't have any damage in the early stages. Both of our junglers on the opposite sides of the map, and one of the things that I love about the Xin Zhao pick from 0711 is this has the same treatment as the Olaf. The early game, I think, other than a Kha'Zix, nobody could win a 1v1 against the Xin Zhao in the early game. Yeah,
3 talent strike, good sustains, has slows as well, and that I believe is the reason why Xin Zhao is often overlooked by a lot of teams, but it's a very good champion overall, especially here in Wild Rift. Like, it also serves as your tank just because of the Crescent Sweep, right? Like, and also, I kind of want to nitpick on the top side, right? Like, the decision-making by EDG not to go and be over-aggressive against the Jax on the top side makes a lot of sense. Again, Jax is being picked. We all know this as a defensive champion in the top lane just because of the Counter-Strike. Yeah, sure, it has a very good late game. But more so, it survives a lot of all ends in a 2v1 scenario, right? Like the Hextech Ultimatum, it doesn't matter. He has the counter-strike, he has the ultimate as well to gain some armors here and there. And he's very tanky. Now the question is, what does he run for his summoner spell? A barrier. So this is going to be a very defensive Jax.
Yeah, and as we expect, in the CN conference, they always love the defensive Jaxes on their side, just because Jax could really do just that. As you said, a lot of resistance that really helps him out, and having the grass and then die just makes it so that he doesn't really, if he ever goes in for a fight, he does have the regen.
Exactly, and one of the things that, slows down the Jax's mana, but you're in Wild Rift, like you can just go home, replenish, and then it's not going to take a long time. However, it does look like that FPX does have a different plan here.
Yeah, goes in for the Shock Blast. They just want to take one plating down, get it to Shingdao 7 and Don 128. Really smart play.
Yeah, that's interesting to say the least, because it also gives information to EDG as to where the jungler is, which means that they can do whatever they want to do in the map. And so EDG, although that information was provided to them, there was really not a big counterplay that did happen, and the lanes are still very much even, and no harm, no foul, at least for the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, both side of the map, they know that Jace is there in the area. They might not be contesting anytime soon. So, from what we're seeing from 0711, he's not going to be using that early game power, maybe in the first objective. He doesn't really need to do anything much. As long as the Jace doesn't get a kill, this is still an equal spot, and also something that Shinzel wants.
For sure. And also, there's a ball delivery system that may happen at level 5, right? Like 0711, you attach the ball onto him, and he can pierce through the defenses of FPX. Really excited to see as to how the clashes will turn out, because there's a lot of initiation option for EDG.
Yeah, what's gonna be funny here is the interaction between the Hextech Ultimatum and the Crescent Sweep. Because when that happens, everybody's not gonna be inside the Hextech Ultimatum. Nobody would be able to help out whoever is inside the Hextech Ultimatum.
I mean, same can be said for the explosive cast.
Oh, that's true.
Lots of counter synergy.
Exactly.
Lots of counter synergy. But again, it all on paper it's counter synergy ultimates, but it also is based as to how effective the players are in using them. And for sure, EDG players are very well experienced in using all these ultimates. That things like that should not happen. But then again, yeah, very quiet early game. No one's in the lead so far. And the first fight might just happen, the first objective, which is the Rift Herald or the Dragon. And the first Dragon of the game is Infernal, which means that we will have Infernal Soul for the game.
Yeah, I'm really surprised also about this J-Spec. Yesterday was one of the times that I've seen this J-Spec. Based on the recent patches that we had ever since Season 1, Jace has been nerfed with the monster damage, but it's still working so well.
Whatever you saw in the items, that's not it, right? Like, this is still progressing, and I believe that's an item board for a different game.
Yeah,
they will, like almost all of them already has full items, but yeah, in 5 seconds we will have the first objective spawn up. And you look at the position of Shingdo 7, he really wants to maximize the poking game, and it does look like the EDG and even FPX, they might challenge for this Rift Herald, which is interesting because to me, the dragons are really super important in the meta right now.
Honestly, a lot of the teams have been prioritizing the Rift Heralds more, and I really want to know why. Because this soul, is very valuable, but from what we're seeing from the players, they do value the easy gold injection more and try to risk taking. They are gonna risk taking the second objective after they got the Rift Herald. At least what they do is push the mid lane and try to get the priority on the second one.
I mean, if you're FPX, what you need to do is to really decide and hammer down at least whatever objective you decided to go for, because one moment of hesitation will open you to the what we call Shen cheese, right? So what is the Shen cheese? Shen will collect the objective on the other side and will be sending his teammates to the other objective, and then all of a sudden the Stand United will just do everything that is needed.
Bot lane, look at that. Xiao Zhang was able to do damage. GaiaFL wants to get the Enraged Transfusion. Xiao Zhang might die here in place, and he's going to be dead. Langui is just going to be taking the kill on GaiaFL, and that's one more hit. 2 for 1 bot side.
EDG wins that skirmish overall, and again, the value of the adaptive defenses in Xiao Zhang's Hextech Ultimatum is almost always going to be key. We're waiting for the replay to happen, but there still is the Rift Herald ready to be summoned for EDG, so injection of gold is very much welcome for the side of EDG, and is soon to happen, most likely here in the mid lane.
Yeah. And as we are seeing, they have 2,500 HP. Just one more, and that's going to be a tower down for sure. Took some time, and 0711 might be taken down here. No flash from Irma. Shockwave was able to get 2. And with the Crown Guard, he was able to tack a lot of damage. But 0711 is still going to die in place. 2 people have been taken down on the side of EDG.
Dawn 128, using his flash to at least get something for FPX, and that's a lot of kills in exchange for the tower. And you see the value that EDG went for is to go for a trade. You see the bot lane tower. No more. No tower plate as of yet. Okay, finally EDG was able to find something. But that's if you are to replay the whole thing, like FPX being proactive and making that play was actually very beneficial, because again, at least there was a trade for the tower, right? Like they did not roll over and just surrender that tower for nothing.
Yeah. And now the Infernal Soul, from what we're seeing, could be a possibility. But explosive gas coming in from Langui pushes back Shingdo 7, but alone doesn't have the HP, wasn't able to follow through.
Ciao.
Order to Forge God.
Wow!
Was able to not get the knock
Wait.
up. Tower top side gonna be taken down. Everybody's here.
Almost always a good sign. Wait, did someone just got sniped down? I believe there was a bird that got true shot barraged.
Yeah. What a great snipe coming in from them at FPX. Wow. What a kill. And now Triforce has been built by that Ezreal. And this tower in the bot lane, oh no, they're not going to be able to trade anything out of that. And that just neutralizes the Rift Herald a while ago.
Yeah, 0711 is not being proactive enough, right? Like, but you kind of understand the rationale, right? Like, this is a Jax. It's so hard to dive against the Jax. And this is the reason why Jax is being prioritized by a lot of CN teams. FPX, not an exception, mainly because of him being defensive. I mean, you can leave him by himself. Yeah, sure, you may be able to kill a Jax, but a return kill will most likely happen. Now, Langui and alone, they have to be careful because that topside botch, that topside pick against them, it was because Langui was being overeager with his plays, right? And they did not respect the fact that FPX members are not seen in the map. And so immediately to pounce on that mistake is FPX Chow, again, flashing over the wall and using his bump over the wall just to get another summoner from Langui.
Yeah. We're waiting for the next objective to come out. We do have 1 minute still before that comes out, so EDG would have a lot of ways to go about it. But right now we're seeing a fight happening. They got it. Explosive gas was used. Shingdo7 was helped out. And now he's going to be able to run away. Zon128 is going to be here. Order the Forge God is there. They got the knockup on 0711 and he's going to be chased down, but FPX runs away.
No casualty. Lots of proto belts being invested as well by a lot of members. At least this is better than the stasis meta that we witnessed for the entirety of Season 1. I believe the viewers also kinda is in favor of this meta in where we have lots of enchants as an option instead of it being the standard one. Looking at the items of Irma right now, he does have the most OP item of all time for AP champions for mages, which is the crown. And again, this crown has also unlocked a lot of AP champions. Wait, hang on, Langui might just again go for another engage.
Might go for a start here and go for Kong if ever he can, but there's an essence shift. He's just going to be running away from that. And as we said, EDG wants to contest this Mountain Drake.
Surely, Mountain Dragon, it also takes away the soul point from your opponent.
Yeah, they go in. Chow was the target. Shingdo7 could have been it, but Chow could be falling down here. There's going to be a lot of damage from the able to flash in. That's a lot of stun coming from Don128, was pushed back, but Irma uses the shockwave to get damage on Kong.
Don128 is just a beast. That zoning capability coming from the Jackson, again, stunning 3 people. Now, EDG's members, in terms of health total, they're very critical in health. Shingdo7 might still be able to steal this.
I do want to see if Shingdo7 has the flash here, but 4k HP on the Mountain Drake they are still going to go for a reset.
Oh, SkyFL is smelling Irma right now. Yep, going in.
We're seeing bot side, though Irma might get taken down here. He does have the Hemo Flag. That's going to be a kill under the turret, and they can't even contest the Drake.
Everything that could go wrong did go wrong for EDG. First, it was Don128 flexing his muscles on the Jax, and then it was the time for the Vladimir. Huge amount of damage coming from Shingdo7, and that's because he's not getting checked at all, right? The Hextech ultimatum, them targeting Chow. Chow is not the ideal target because that still is a support that has a lot of HP, and a lot of this mishaps, a lot of this this misfortunes has something to do with EDG's play, right? Like they are the ones committing this mistakes, and this is what happens when it's a newly formed team, right? Like things like that is bound to happen. That's what we call growing pains.
Yeah, and as we've seen from a while ago, Xiao Zhang onto the top side needs to hook shot away. Not enough CC from FPX. This could be something that they could use here, though. EDG could use the lack of CC from FPX in order for them to just get the priority targets that they need.
Speaking of CC,
knock up on 2. Order the Forge God going to be used in 1. Crescent Sweep was used already, and 0711 is just going to be running away. A lot of flashes used from EDG.
I still cannot believe it. Yeah, sure, they lack CC, but their primary CC always hits the mark, and that's is FPX.
Shingdo7, no follow-up just yet. Shockwave is going to be used, and it was a mistake.
No, not really. It's Shingdo7 pushing him away. So it's more of the mech check. It's the difference between the two teams. Like FPX, on all the 50-50s that is happening, They are just getting the advantage. Irma, again, pulling the trigger on that shockwave. You understand the rationale, but that Jace, quick to his fingers, was able to push away Langui.
Yeah, because of that, they weren't able to get the easy combo that they could have. And now Don128 helps out them push on the mid lane, and that tower is going to be down.
FPX dominating in the first 13 minutes of the game. 2.5k ahead, 2 dragons ahead as well. And you look at this state of the game, and you will say that, hey, you know what's very winnable for EDG. But if FPX secures the next dragon, that's good night.
Yeah, that's going to be an end of it. Especially that we talked about how they could have lacked damage with this composition, but because they have an Infernal Soul waning here, and now that we're going to head into the late game now, they're going to go crazy with the damage, especially that Vladimir is waiting for that third item.
Irma saw it firsthand, right? Like the amount of damage that Sky is capable of doing right now, that this Vladimir really has changed the meta. For the good, right? Like, it's always fun to see all these mages, but you see FPX with enough real estate and with enough pressure, they can just push down EDG.
Knocked him back, and Langui was able to get it. Flash and
Chao again.
Shift. He was able to run away. Chao's gonna be the target. He's so tanky, and it's not taking a match with a 3,000 strike onto the backline. Those Sky FL might die here. He's gonna fall down, but 0711 wasn't able to get anything on the other side. EDG loses to Shockwave, was a bit too late. Uses it to reposition, but now Horn coming in from alone might be able to get the kill on Shingdo 7, but they haven't had that just yet.
The front to back from EDG was their saving grace. Still, I have to be critical of their decision making. Again, prioritizing Chao a little bit too late, right? Like that Hextech ultimatum, that all-in coming from Langui, it's not as, you know, it's not as crisp from all the EDG members. Oftentimes, you will expect Xiaozhang to just flash in, hook shot in, flash in, hang on live.
Yeah, Baron's gonna be taken down. That's gonna be a takedown coming in from FPX. They're gonna take it for free. Here comes EDG. Crescent Guard coming in from 0711. Fights away, flashes away, dodges away, tries to kill him with a shockwave. EDG was able to survive there.
Right, Sky might just still be able to stop EDG from progressing from whatever advantage they were able to get. The thing that I hate about that Baron takedown coming from FPX is that it leaves a third dragon so vulnerable right now. Not sure that is the best option, right? If you think about it, like what is better, like Baron or the third dragon? Surely it should be a third dragon, right?
Yeah, they had a 4v2 there, but because of this Ocean Rig could be taken for free by the side of EDG. No, it is going to be taken for free by EDG.
Exactly.
With this 50 gold lead, this is still possible for EDG as long as they don't let the Baron takedown from FPX be as effective. Flashes in, ties
Never mind.
Won't be able to get anything much from there.
Yeah.
But that's going to be Sky just running away.
And on the top side, someone's about to die.
Oh! What is that?
Okay, so FPX may just have through the game there. I'm sorry, but again, recognizing your win condition. Sure, Baron was open, but had you waited for a couple of more seconds, just 1 minute maybe, then you will have that third dragon option. And you have to remember that EDG just invested a lot of their ultimates, and that may have given the confidence to FPX to go all in on that Baron. But you see the value of this Baron? Negative Baron power play. Because they haven't destroyed anything. Ooh. They were not able to do anything with it. Like maybe was able to take down a tower on the top side, but that's the most that they were able to do. And Kong being alone by himself was also a problem, right? Because he got assassinated easily by Xiaozhang.
Yep. And what could they do here for the side of FPX? So far, 2 towers on the sides still haven't been taken down by EDG, but it's going to be one of the things that is hard about them is that they won't be able to take this down easily because they had to fight against a Vladimir and also had to fight against a Jax. So that's something that they could do here. Just hold the line until the Elder Dragon spawns up.
Surely, I'm making it that a so hard spell to swallow, but FPX is still in the lead. Surely, right? Like at the end of the day, they're still in the lead gold-wise. But this game was almost over, right? Like if they followed through with their win conditions. However, 0711.
Oh, no. That might be it. 0711 is going to be dead. FPX gets somebody that they actually need to take down.
Yeah, that's the jungler down. Although 30 seconds before the Elder Dragon spawn up.
I think they have time.
Yeah, they have time, surely, right? Like A couple of more seconds before this Elder Dragon spawn up, and the jungler should be alive for EDG. Good pick, but it's not really game changing. Now what they're doing is still trying to maximize the dark areas. Shingdo?
Yeah, goes in for the body slam. They want to kill Shingdo 7 as fast as they could.
Sky?
One person is at the top side, so this is a 4v4.
Yep. I wanted them to go all in on Shingdo 7 because again, that's one of the weakness of AJ's jungle. He's super vulnerable, right? And there is no other crowd control that can really push you away. So Langui, again, I'm waiting for him to just go all in.
Knock up onto one. Langui forced to flash away. They have the heal plague and the Horn of the Forge God onto this guy. Langui's gonna be dead. They lose one more member before the fight happens. Irma almost got taken down. Sky is just so good.
And so now Sky might just be able to heal up by using this Elder Dragon. FPX back to square number 1. Back into dominating this game overall.
Yeah, 0711, a bit too late. No more Crescent Guard, not able to move. And now PX is going to take this for free. EDG would try something out. The Elder Drake is going to be regenerating, but they can't do anything about this.
Elder Dragon joining the team of FPX. Sure, okay, fine. The Baron buff was not that big enough. How about Baron number 2? I believe it should be enough for FPX to close down the game. EDG had a perfect chance, but FPX making sure that all those vision will be deleted from the side from the Elder side. It enabled them to really maximize those dark areas and allowing them to go for picks. And it doesn't really matter if you don't have the a very big crowd control on your side. Again, the biggest or the scariest crowd control of all is death, and then that's what they're doing to the members of EDG. They're killing them.
Yeah, and so far they haven't made this work. They haven't made the Xin Zhao work during this game because most of the time, what FPX has been doing is just been
on the
taking
flank
down the Xin Zhao as fast as they could, and now they're gonna go for it. Langui's on the flank, won't be able to get the kill. The Stasis was here. Chao wasn't able to get the Horn of the Forge God perfectly, but they are still able to run away.
Good try, EDG. I was excited for a second there, but one Stasis was enough to throw off whatever they planned to do against Kong. Shockwave though hitting.
Shockwave onto Kong, half HP. But now EDG has a lot of choices that they have to make. They have the Elder Drake and FPX. This is going to be hard.
Indeed. It's so hard. And so now Kong is back to full health. And just life stealing from the minions. Langui.
Back up onto Langui. Half HP. Elder Drake is going to hit him, and that's going to be a kill.
And the Elder Dragon plus the Baron is just too much for EDG to handle.
This is going to be them ending it, and they can't even do anything because of the Elder Drake buff, and that is a good start for FPX with a 1-0.
Was a bumpy road at the middle of it all, but make no mistake, this is a dominating first game for FPX. Swarding off EDG once again.